people think all bodybuilding is like the big, super muscular men and women. They don't realize that there are different categories to it. Like, I'm not a big woman, yeah, I've got muscles and I've got, shoulders and delts and things like that. But, there's different categories and judges are looking for different things with bodybuilding. Hi, I'm Monica Hinds. I am a personal trainer and nutrition coach in Las Vegas, Nevada. I compete in the NPC Bikini division. I am a master's athlete, master's over 50, and I've done 4 shows thus far. People think that like bodybuilders are like super strong, especially as we get close to the show. We're not strong. Like, we look like we're strong. It's an aesthetics competition. It's about who looks, the best and meets the criteria that the judges are looking for. So yeah, usually by then we're pretty weak when we're getting on stage. So yeah, you'd have to have some level of strength to develop the muscle that they're looking for, but it's not like powerlifting. So for the bikini category, they are looking for symmetry. They're looking for, you want to have some cap delts, not overdone though. Glutes are a huge factor in what they're looking for. Hamstrings, conditioning. So not striated, not overly conditioned. They're also looking for, your stage presence, your overall presentation. So hair, makeup, tan, bikini, all of that comes into it. And then posing too. So posing is really important as well. That you have, a nice flow, that you're connecting with the judges, you have a smile, that you hit your poses without being super awkward or stiff. So those are the main things that they look for bikini. I will walk you through the process of preparing for a competition. So I would guess I would start with, hey, I've already chosen a coach, and we've had kind of our preliminary meetings to see where our baseline is. Usually your coach will either give you a meal plan or give you macros, with macronutrients, your protein, your carbs, your fats, for you to follow. And even within that, it's not, there's the expression, if it meets your macros, like you don't have a whole lot of wiggle room in there. So that would be, the nutrition is really, I won't say the most important thing, but it's up there in terms of the importance in preparing for your show. Each week, you'll send your coach check-ins, which means you're in your bikini. Usually you have a practice bikini. When you walk through your posing routine, you hit your poses, and you send them pictures and videos so they can adjust your meal plan, adjust your training plan, let you know if you're on the right track or they need to make any adjustments. One thing that people don't realize, there's a lot of time cooking food, weighing food, because you got to weigh it out to the gram, preparing your food, eating food. Eating food takes a long time. Especially if you're eating really clean like we do, it's not like you can just scarf it down. Like this is very nutrient dense foods. And thinking about food, you're always thinking about your next meal and what you're gonna be able to have and when can you have it. And then of course your training regimen, whatever that's gonna be to, develop those body parts that the judges are looking for. So, you're looking at probably a minimum of 4 hours a day, just preparing for your show. And as you get closer, your check-ins become more frequent. There might be adjustments to your water or your sodium or your meals or your training. And you've got to practice a lot more too. So usually you take it kind of week by week, leading up to a show. And, if someone has a little bit more body fat or is a little more overweight, their process might be a little bit longer. Or if they don't have enough muscle, they want to have enough density, they might have a little bit longer where they're trying to put on muscle before they start trying to cut down the body fat to reveal what's underneath. So it's going to vary from person to person as far as how long the process is going to be. But I'd say kind of that's the general thing. And then as you get closer to your show, it starts getting a little exciting because you're like, okay, show date's coming up. You got to remember to get all these things. Your bikini, it's going to be altered to fit you on show day because your body's going to change. Your heels, your jewelry, book a makeup artist, book hair, nails, tan. So there's lots and lots of appointments as you go up to the show. Pick a show, register for the show, and what categories you're going to do. All of these things are expensive, by the way. So you're going to make sure you have enough money for all of these things. And then if you're going to travel for your show, make your travel arrangements, your hotel arrangements, figure out how you're going to bring your food or what you're going to do with your food situation once you're at the venue. And then, the excitement of the day before the show where you're starting to get your tan, the day of the show, you're getting your makeup, and, the jitters start to hit. You start making friends at the backstage, and then it's showtime. They see, the sparkly bikini and the jewelry and the glam and the makeup, and you're in heels, and it's almost romanticized, and don't realize how much time and effort and, slogging through these days where you're feeling super low energy and still have to get up and do your cardio and do your training and stick to your meal plan. They don't realize all of that, what goes into it. So, I've had people, ask about it. I was like, you got to really know what you're signing up for. So go to shows, talk to competitors, go to posing seminars if they have them in your area, actually do some research before jumping into it, and save your money because it's expensive. This is not a cheap sport at all. And you're not going to get a return on your investment most times. Even if you go pro, the amount of money that you put into it is, unless you're going to the Olympia and you're placing, and the odds of that, considering how many competitors there are out there, the odds of that are pretty low. You're not going to make your money back. You're not going to turn a profit doing this. This is done because you love the sport and you love the process. But I would say, to anybody who wanted to think about doing it, know what you're signing up for first. And I would say, see what your discipline is like first. Can you stick to a meal plan, for more than a week or two? I wish I knew kind of how all-consuming it can become, even when you're not preparing for a show. You become very hyper-focused on your appearance, on your body, kind of all the time, on your food. I feel like before I had a lot more mental freedom about, going out to eat, or hanging out with friends. I feel like for me, I've created this box of discipline that it's hard to get out of. So I wish I had known, okay, looking in the future, are you going to be okay with that? Because it does become kind of all-consuming, even if you're not directly in preparation for a show. You're thinking about the next one or growing into the next one. It never leaves your mind entirely.